All right, we live.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome to MMAHOLIcs, episode 44. Thank y'all so much for joining us. My name is Antoine. This is my boy, Nikki. Known him for a real long time. One of my bestest friends, of course. Sorry we've been gone for a little while, y'all. It's literally a lot of work to do and some medical stuff as well. If you want to share, Nikki, I'll go ahead and let you take the floor if you want to tell them.
All right, what's good, everybody? Yeah, dude, had a deviated septum that happened a little while ago, and then I had a hematoma in my nose that got cut open out of nowhere. I didn't even know what a hematoma was, honestly. I just thought it was a big bruise in my nose, and I went to the doctor. He cut it open, so I was out of commission. I was miserable. I was in bed for like days, honestly, a week at one point. Just fucking couldn't do shit. Had to be laying down. So I definitely had time to break down cards, but I had no intention to. Honestly, with the quality of the cards, it did not move me at all, so I didn't care. I was just being lazy watching YouTube. But we're all good now. We're back at a perfect time because we got UFC 316. We got episode 44. We're back. So I'm ready, bro. I'm ready to go. We got a good 4 weeks ahead of us, too.
Yeah, like for me personally, even like looking at some of the prelims, I do think like they're set up fairly well. And like of course, they're in New Jersey for this card. It's pretty crazy how they really made New Jersey like the Prudential Center and annual location like that. It goes to show you it definitely does sell out every time, anytime they go up north like that. Normally the New Jersey cards in May, just like last May, I'm pretty sure as well. But which one was last May? Because my last birthday card was
Last New
UFC.
Jersey card was
Yeah, that was
is
310. That was
Islam and
Dustin. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Dustin
and
and
Dustin. So that was last June as well. That was like June 10th. So makes sense. You could definitely say that for sure. But now or was that no, that was June 1st. Yeah, that was June 1st because the Louisville card, Cannoneer versus Imavov, that was the June 8th card. Yes, it was for sure. And yeah, man. But outside of that, I think it's a pretty good card for sure. We can go ahead and pull it up on Topology, most definitely. And as I did mention, this card is kind of special to me in particular because every single year, by the grace of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, as always, I get a birthday card. You feel me? Now, sometimes it doesn't directly hit on my birthday, but sometimes I am blessed enough to receive it on the special day. This time, I'm gonna get it the day before, on June 7th. My birthday is June 8th. For y'all that don't know, I turned 26 on Sunday, so it's pretty fucking crazy to say that. Also, of course, as y'all know, I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I plan on going to this card. I was buying my tickets this Friday. I get paid from my job, so I'm literally about to buy them. I already got my tickets pre-saved from the section and stuff like that. It's like a smooth 140 for the ticket. So it's not too bad compared to pay-per-views. Y'all who have been, y'all know pay-per-view tickets usually go for about like at least $600. Even for nosebleeds, they're about at least $600. If you want to get some good ones, you wait for the price. It depends on the card. If it's like not even being sexist, I swear. Like if it's like a women's main event or anything like that, unless it's like a stat card or like Amanda Nunes or something, the tickets normally go for like 400, 300. Still be a pretty penny. But compared to like your $800, if you got like an Ilya Topuria in the main event, like it's like those UFC International Fight Week tickets, you're not gonna get that at under like $750. It's not gonna happen. So but yeah, of course, we got Usman versus Buckley coming to us next week, and excuse me, we'll most definitely be breaking down this card for y'all. Like I said, we missed the last couple, because it just have some medical stuff and some job scheduling. But we're definitely gonna break down the next few cards. They all got arenas and fans, so you know the quality of the card is definitely increased for the next few fight nights. So, look forward to this most definitely. They gave us a late night. It starts at 7 p.m. the prelim. So we have a 7 p.m. prelim and a 10 p.m. main card. So it's like damn near pay-per-view. Last time they were down here, we had a pay-per-view UFC 236, Holloway versus Poirier 2. And Israel Adesanya fought Kelvin Gastelum in that co-main event. And that fight gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year because it won a Fight of the Year back in 2019. I worked at the State Farm Arena back then. That was when I first got the job in 2019. And that was my craziest day of work ever. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just seeing that for free was fucking insane. I'll never ever forget that. You feel me? And yeah, man. Outside of that, though, how do you feel about UFC 316 as a whole? Really, like now that we're gonna have it in front of us and stuff like that. How do you feel about this card as a whole? In the poster too.
Yeah, man. Well, poster's cool. Poster's cool. Leave it at that. I don't know. It's not. I don't really care about. I don't like the poster too much. I've seen some better ones recently. But I do like the card a lot, and I do like how they've been putting New Jersey every year. New Jersey just has some really good cards. You had the who was it? Aljo and
Cejudo.
Cejudo, Aljo and Cejudo 2 years ago. Last year, Islam, my favorite fighter in New Jersey. I want to be there so bad, but I didn't have anyone to go with, and I wasn't going to New Jersey alone that weekend. And now, this fight, I'm actually super excited for. We're gonna get into the picks later, but I think it's a really good card. You know, I was breaking it down, and there's some really good fights on here. A lot of 50-50 fights. There's some fights that I think are free. I think they're like guarantees, but there's a few fights that they're gonna be really good matchups. Really like the main card. And we also got Joshua Van, huge Joshua Van fighter or Joshua Van fan.
The fearless.
Yeah, that was a tongue twister right there. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. I'll be watching this start to finish for sure on Saturday.
Me and you both, not gonna lie. I had a annoying day at the side hustle, bro. And I was just thinking, like, man, every time there's a card on Saturday, bro, I don't know why the stars always align like that. I gotta work like two extra hours on Friday than I normally do on Friday night, and I'm off Saturday and Sunday. So to get to that that beautiful weekend of mine, of ours, of everybody's, I gotta bust my ass. But of course, I'm not the only one that has to do that. There's everyone, including you. And it's always like, to me, that work shift on Friday always goes by the fastest because I'm watching the UFC embedded. I'll wake up and watch the weigh-in show, the live weigh-in show, all of that. I love those Fridays before pay-per-views. But speaking of pay-per-views, we can go ahead and get into it. Really love the storyline of this card. The former bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley, who just had a second baby, by the way. Congratulations to him. I remember when he was on the roster, he had no children, no face tattoos either. And now, yeah, this dude's a future Hall of Famer now. He's a father, you feel me, a millionaire. Well, he was a millionaire before he was the champ. And yeah, man, like, it's just cool to see like how far he really came. He's come, you feel me, even like just coming off Contender Series, like that really showed like the epitome of what the show is meant for. Jamal Hill was the first champion of Contender Series, but Sean O'Malley, I think, was the first one to defend a title coming off Contender Series. So, yeah, man, you definitely say it's a future Hall of Famer for sure. Regardless of how people feel about his title reign, no matter how short it was a title reign nonetheless. The 10th ever UFC bantamweight champion. So, but speaking of bantamweight champion, we also got Juliana Pena on this card. I love Juliana Pena. This is her story. Everyone's always talking shit about her. I really don't give a fuck what the fans have to say, to be quite honest with you. Like, to me, it's just more so about like they look for something to complain about, and like, like this, people live vicariously through the fighters and stuff like that, and I think like they try to make their achievements like the fans try to make the fighters' achievements like their achievements almost. And I feel like they've undermined Juliana Pena way too much and not really given her credit. Like, no one really talks about the fact she's a 2-time bantamweight champion. The women's, she had like the people she has wins over. You feel me? Like even having a win over Amanda like that. She's a future Hall of Famer. And she won the Ultimate Fighter ever since she's been here. Like she has an 8-3 UFC record. Like she's always been a good fighter, in my opinion. Of course, she's a heavy underdog on Saturday. And she's like plus 400, something like that, for anyone who's betting on that shit. Like, pretty
You think
heavy
it's
line.
rightfully so?
Not at all. I mean, no spoilers. We're gonna get to it, but I mean, like to answer your question, not. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy in my opinion. Like the UFC experience she has, like having 11 fights on the roster, and at the women she's fought, and like I said, has wins over. So, outside of that, though, like I said, betting odds are subjective. That's Vegas. You feel me? I love Las Vegas, but that's Vegas, you know. And yeah, we can go ahead and get to the first fight. Most definitely. Um, yeah, man. Like I just saw Kevin Holland. I forgot he's on this fucking card.
Man, Luke, yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Crazy fight for real. Starting with the first one in the lightweight division, Markel Medeiros versus Mark Chwansky. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of one I didn't get to do too much research for, but I know Markel Medeiros. I thought he looked decent in his last fight. Granted, I'm pretty sure that was, I think, that was like it might have been like an elevation or something like that. I know there was like a circumstance to the fight that had caused him to like really fight kind of slow. I think it might have been like in Mexico City maybe or something like that. But I know like I said, I thought he did all right in his first fight when he got the split decision over Austin Hubbard. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was on that Moreno versus Orsak fight card in Mexico City. Like I said, that's why I thought he looked pretty not bad. Like I just say, he looked decent for sure. But I definitely think that has something to do with his performance for sure. Because he just looked really labored in his strikes by like the second round. And no matter who you are, like any American in that climate, even if you went out there like 3 weeks beforehand, like I just don't think you were going to be able to acclimate properly compared to Brandon Moreno, who lives in Mexico. Well, I think he might have moved to California, but he's from Tijuana, and he definitely, like he said, he was out in Mexico City like 2 months like prior. Before that, even Kelvin Gastelum was out there like a month before just to try to acclimate, and that fight's on this card as well. Yes, it is. I can't wait for that. And yeah, man, going into this one, like I said though, Markel Medeiros, like I just think he still has more to show. He is undefeated inside the UFC with 2 wins thus far. 3 if you want to count his contender series win. Where he got that beautiful knee over Isa Isakov. Gorgeous knee. I thought it was great for a first round finish, most definitely. And he trains at a good gym at Factory X. A lot of good fighters. You know, Smith, who just retired, Dustin Jacoby, who just got a win just recently, Yusuf Zalal, who's on a tear right now, and Brandon Royval, who's fighting Manel Kopp in a title eliminator. So definitely a really good gem that he comes from for sure. And he's 28 years old, so he's only getting better in a lightweight, and we haven't seen his prime yet, most definitely. And for Mark Chwansky, pretty sure he's taking this on short notice. Mark the Shark Chwansky even has a shark tattoo on his chest. And yeah, I mean, according to the Tapology, he's the number 157 ranked fighter in North America in his division. So coming off the regional scene, really talking about his career, like he's looking great. I mean, he's undefeated. Even beating some decent guys, 2-4-1 guys, a 7-3 guy in a title fight. It was a 3-round title fight, which is pretty rare. For any original scene promotion, you definitely want to see these guys go 5 rounds in any title fight they have to fight, But yeah, like he's coming into this one on short notice. And for me, I always pick the guy who I think has faced better competition. And he had a full training camp as well. I forgot who Medeiros was supposed to fight originally. Balaji Oki, who we just saw get a win this last weekend over Michael Aswell. But yeah, I was going to go with Markel Medeiros. I think he'll be the better, more well-rounded fighter. He's faced the better competition. And then like overall, I like his gas tank. If he's winning a split decision and elevation like that, that shows his grit and his toughness. So I'm gonna go with Markel for sure.
Good breakdown. I'm also taking Marquel in this one. I was watching a little tape on both of them. Marquel, he's really good early on. It could be due to the elevation. It could be due to him just not being as good of a fighter later in the fight and just gassing out. But early on, he gets to it. He puts together great combos. He's shown good takedown defense. He's gonna need it because Cholinsky, I mean, that dude's a grappler. I mean, what I watched of him, I seen a fight or two on YouTube.
I watch
Uh,
film, okay? Right.
I watched a little film on him, some regional fights. I mean, the striking comes, puts a little pressure on him, and he's shelling up, going to the back of the cage. But once he got a hold, he gets you to the ground. He works. He doesn't chase submissions. I mean, he's very top heavy. He works a lot of ground and pound to get to the submissions. So he had a nice back take and finished it with a rear naked choke, very clean. As soon as he was on that back, he figured forward the legs and choke sunk right in perfectly. So I mean, he looks like a threat on the ground. I have Marquell winning this one by decision or TKO. I'm not going to weigh too much into the Mexico City elevation, that him being drained in that fight. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he does look very good of a fighter. So I have him winning by decision TKO, but I wouldn't count out Cholinsky. I mean, he's a good grappler, and he definitely could go for 15 minutes. So he could even get a late round sub in that, but not going to take that undefeated, to heart.
Right.
Not going to take it. It's all regional.
And like that's the thing, like I want to get into watching more regional scene cards because like I treat it like how some dudes like they like watching college football more than like college basketball more. You like, don't get me wrong, like some of the dudes on like the regional scene, you really see how many of these dudes all over the world really want to go to the UFC, but really want to like make it to the biggest promotion. Like dudes have no idea, like just the regional scene itself is an ocean. And like to get scouted and stuff like that, to get picked up, and like that's one thing I think the UFC will eventually start doing, similar to the NBA, similar to the NFL. They'll have their own scouts, like actual like, and I think it'd be like retired fighters and stuff like that. And when they hear about people in their regions, especially because they have like performance institutes now in like multiple regions like of the world and stuff like that. So I think it'd be really cool for them to actually send out scouts to locations and like actually stay out there for like 2 weeks, like a month, and it's like a 10 regional shows and like to see who's doing what and just pick up fighters that way, or at least like give them contender series spots. Like that'd be really that'd be super cool. Like I feel like that would, I don't know, just open up the UFC more. But we haven't really seen the best of the UFC yet. It's still in the early stages right now. The Ultimate Fighting Championship, and it's only been like 31 years, so definitely still in the early stages for sure. But moving on to the next one, Keelan Salkiel versus Yanal Ashmouz. This is a hard one. We didn't really learn much from Keelan Salkiel. He knocked out Anshel Jubilee. Now, in my opinion, I thought that shit was an early stoppage. I didn't really like that stoppage at all. I didn't think
He got hit clean though. That was a clean right hand, dude. It only was gonna get worse. It was only going to get worse.
Personally, I see what you mean. Like, he was going to go for the follow-up. I just don't think Anshul was really given much time to, like recover. Like, he got clipped, hit to the ground. He just plopped, and, like, the ref just stopped.
He fell down looking the other way. Like, he would have, if he recovered, he would have just got hit with another punch in the face. The ref got in the way. So anything that happened next would have just been a clean punch to the face.
Mm-hmm. I get it, Man, I don't know. I guess I just felt really bad for Jubilee. I know he felt like, because it sucked with him coming off that breeding loss, and a lot of people like, he's a storyline him like in itself inside the UFC right now, because he's like the first ever Indian fighter to be signed inside the UFC. So we're really seeing how like Indian MMA fares on the world stage, and like it's just. I just would have liked to see him get a better opportunity than that for sure. It's only 2 losses in the whole, so he's on a 3-fight deal. So hopefully he gets another deal. Hopefully he gets they're gonna give him a layup, but I think they want Jubilee to win for sure. And yeah, bro, going into this one again, this is a close one in my opinion. Even with Ashmouz, like the fight he lost to Chris Duncan, he did break his arm in that fight. People who don't know. And outside of that, I thought he's looked pretty good. I always thought he was fairly dynamic. Like the knockout over Sam Patterson looks really, really good now. Seeing what Sam Patterson's been up to. He just knocked out Danny Barlow, who was undefeated. So it's a close fight, man. Like, I guess I'll just stick with my original pick. I was going to go with Yanal Ashmouz in this one. I just like what he's shown. Like, he's been on the roster longer. that Chris Duncan fight, even with him breaking his arm and still trying to fight and like weather the pain in the storm. Uh, that really showed, like, again, like his heart, his determination. You want to bet on a guy like that. You want to pick a guy like that in a fight. And I think this is gonna be a striking match, and I think he'll be a little bit more dynamic on the feet versus Keelan, who might have more like power and pop in his shots and stuff like that. But I think he has a more diverse striking skill set, and he's more a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more like pinpoint accuracy. So I was gonna go with Ashmoos in this fight. But who you got?
I'm on the other side. I'm rocking Team Australia in this one.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, I just think he's, he has the goods. Like, there's certain fighters you watch and you see they could be fan favorites quickly. He reminds me of like that Chase Hooper, like that Roman Coppola. Like, they have something that they could just put on a show, and he seems like he has a little bit of star power. At such
Really?
little experience, dude. Just that knockout, that celebration, it just shows. I mean, his Contender Series fight, 3 rounds, he was gritty. He was just wrestling. I mean, he didn't look super impressive. It wasn't like, Marab super crazy wrestling or some Hamzat stuff. But I mean, it was just like when it failed, he kept going, and that's a sign of a gritty fighter right there. You fail on a takedown, you keep going until you get them down. He went for 3 rounds there. He has nasty power. He has great range. I think he's the dynamic fighter in this. I think Yanal is pretty standard, not in a bad way, but there's nothing that Yanal is outstanding in my opinion. Like, there's nothing like, if there was bars of like how good he is, there's nothing that goes over 50. Everything's like straight down the middle. He's a solid mixed martial artist all the way down. But I think Killian, he has that power. I think he has that grit. I like him in this fight, and he's Australian, so I mean, I don't know if I've seen a bad Australian fighter yet in this one. I just don't think Yanal is gonna be like quote unquote better at anything in this fight, or I don't think he's gonna match the pace at all. I don't think that. So I'm gonna take Killian to win this one by knockout.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You feel me? Like, again, that's a great breakdown from you yourself. Like, I don't know. I guess I just because I thought the Jubilee loss again. I just thought I was a little early. You feel me? And like, I don't know, man. Of course, like, people aren't too high on Onshore in the first place. So, but not great pick though, and breakdown as always. So moving on to the next one. Won't spend too much long on this one. I was gonna go with Jun Song Yu to win this fight. I haven't been that high on Jekka Saragi. Haven't been that high on Jekka. Not like that. Given what I've seen from him in this few fights he's had inside the UFC. I know it's Ju's debut. But from what I've seen in like his record, I do think he's gonna be able to implement his game plan with the wrestling and the grappling. A little bit of the striking as well. As you can see, it's the number 2 ranked featherweight coming out of Korea. So South Korea, that is, with an undefeated record of 8. So he most definitely must be a pretty good fighter. Ignore the record. Like, I get it. He's beating guys 2-6, like 25-26. Like, he beat a 35-25 guy. This dude's record is 35-25-11. And he has like 11 draws or something. I don't know how you have 11 draws. And yeah, like, he won a belt over at Heat 52, AFC 27. It was a vacant featherweight championship, and it was 5 rounds. So we know he has good gas tank, and he knocked the guy out in 32 seconds. So definitely gonna go with Ju Song Yu. I like what I've seen from him on the regional scene. And like, he's in his prime right now at 31 years old. So he's debuting in a big spot. And they're gonna see what they can do with this guy. Like I said, he's the number 2 featherweight coming out of South Korea. So he's pretty popular on the regional scene for sure. So I got some. I'll be eyeing this debut for sure. I'm actually really intrigued to see like more international fighters. So, and I actually respect the Tapology global rankings and stuff. So, I want to see what makes this guy so good. So, I got Ju Song Yu in this fight.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there's mixed martial arts in North Korea?
Mixed martial arts, and I mean, yeah, Korean Zombie, like he definitely ushered in, like, he himself a massive influence that definitely went down the pipeline to at least have some MMA fighters from that region for sure. And he's from
North Korea?
not Chan Sung Jung. I can check. Let me
No, I'm
see.
assuming that they're from South Korea. If they're Korean, I'm assuming they're from South Korea.
Nah, you're fine. Shit, I'm honestly not sure. But to answer your question, they're high level MMA. They've had a title challenger, but
From North Korea, really?
he's from
I would assume
Pohang, South Korea. Yeah, he's from Pohang, South Korea.
South Korea. I'm saying though, because I know in their military, they definitely train some type of combat, some combat sports. But since we don't know what goes on there, do you think that they have, sanctioned fights and stuff over there? Because obviously they don't fight outside of their region. You don't think so?
I
wonder, maybe there's some crazy talent there, and they're just not allowed out.
I was gonna
They
say
got like a Fedor situation over there.
In Yo's region, or Yu, I think how you say his name. I think over there for sure he has 8 fights, so they're finding fights for him. There's definitely dudes in that region that are competing, most definitely. I just think like in North Korea, I'm not really sure, but from what I've seen, at least the last couple of fighters, the better fighters do fare from south of the border, most definitely.
Yeah.
In Korea.
I'm just wondering because we don't get to know. But moving
good.
on to this fight, yeah. I like you in this fight too. I think he's really quick. He's a great counter striker. He has those snappy kicks. He's entertaining to watch. I'm excited to see his debut too. Yeah, Jeka, I mean, he's explosive, gases. So I mean, if he's gonna win the fight, it'll be by knockout in the first like 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm not too confident in him. I'm taking you to win this one by a technical knockout. I think so. Maybe a decision.
All right, but moving on to the next one. You can go ahead and take the ladies if you want to.
Like this fight, I'm big Adrian Lipski fan. Big fan.
Ariane.
Is it Ariane? I thought it was Adrian.
Ariane. Yep, Ariane Lipski.
She
before she was De Silva. She's married now.
Before De Silva, before she married her coach. But still big fan. Big fan. But yeah, this fight's really good. This is a big grappler versus striker fight, I guess you could say. Wang, I mean, she's probably one of the best kickboxers on the roster, kickboxing females on the roster. She's super impressive. I mean, it's like I don't think there's many female fighters that would beat her in just a straight up kickboxing fight on the roster. Mixed martial arts, that's a little different. Lipski has a very good grappling advantage. She has some dangerous subs. She caught an arm bar. She might have had a leg lock sub recently. I'm not sure. I definitely remember the arm bar. Good off her back. Good submissions. This one could go 50-50, right? I mean, the fight standing, I like Wang. If they get a hold of each other, Wang doesn't look too good. She just really doesn't in the grappling department. If she ends up on her back, that round is completely gone. And that's all Lipski. So it's a 50-50. I actually left it blank. I'm not sure. I really want to pick Lipski, but if Wang is stuffing takedowns, it's like easy Wang by decision. I don't know if Lipski gets knocked out. I haven't looked at her knockouts, like how many times she's been put out or stopped. But I guess I'll take Wang in this one. Wang to win.
Okay, nah, for sure. Yeah, I was gonna go with Kong Wang too. The performance against Gabriela Fernandez was unprecedented. It's like literally one of the biggest upsets in UFC history, and it happened on just a random card. And AJ, like, that was pretty crazy to watch that. I remember because I had to work an overnight shift on that card. I got home because the main card started at like fucking 6 a.m. And I'm sitting here watching that shit. I did not see that coming that early in the fucking I don't think anybody did see that coming that early in the morning, but it's to see her lose like that. And like, all it really did was take her O. Some people thought it took her aura. Of course, the O definitely helped for sure with her being undefeated. Makes her look more, cooler, more raw, stuff like that. Just the image alone, especially how she was dyeing her hair green for the fights. She was doing the Joker stuff. It was really cool. I definitely think she should keep doing that. Of course, she'll come out be a little bit more focused in this performance as well. I think we'll see a better performance even than her last win. I think she just fought that way to make sure she could get a victory that she knew she had to, coming off the disappointing loss to Fernandez. So I think Wang's gonna win this one, pretty convincingly. I think she get a finish in this one, but I'm gonna go via decision. I think Ariani's a pretty tough girl. She could win this one. You know, she looked great against Casey O'Neill that one fight. She dominated her. It's pretty crazy to see that. And yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Kong Wang though in this fight. It sucks, man, because Lipsky, that'd be 3 losses in a row for her, and like it just doesn't matter who you are, like they will get rid of you, like if they don't think you're talented like that, you know, and like because obviously she's very marketable, stuff like that, you know. So but yeah, I'm gonna go with Kong Wang in this one, for sure.
Is Marion your coach a curse in the UFC?
A lot of people consider that. I mean, Tatiana, you know, because she's a patchy mix. Obviously, a lot of people weren't really high on her performance that she had at UFC 312 in Australia, and they thought Patchy didn't really offer more than a coach would, really getting in her ass like that for someone who
That's what I
obviously.
think. I feel like it takes away from the coach and student, and it makes it hard to really discipline your fighters.
I agree. No, for
Because
sure.
you have
Like
to also respect their feelings as your partner. You know.
of course, and like you know, you can say the wrong thing in the fight, and you know, you get back. You know, you trying to cuddle up in bed, and she does not want to
deal
be.
with that at home, which you said in the gym. So now it's you're trying to balance
For
two
real.
things at once.
That ass, and you're not trying to deal with that, you know. But answer your question, yeah, I think so. I think it provides a distraction, a certain level of distraction, and like what you said, the professionalism, like the actual, like the master and the student, and like I think that obviously it's vital, but just at the UFC level, like it has to be more prevalent more than ever. So fighters can improve at all costs, and I think like when you're going home at night with the person you're trying to improve with, like they're taking it easy on you, even unconsciously. They definitely are for sure. Which is why I still want Rose Namajunas like to not really be trained with Pat Barry like that no more. But yeah, like either way,
I was thinking of. Yep.
yeah, for sure. You know, she'll be here in Atlanta. I pray I run into her. I do shit. Man, if I run into her, that'd be crazy. But yeah, bro, like we'll see what happens. Wish Ariane all the best. I don't think they cut her. If she loses this one, I think they give her a layup because they like her. And if she loses that, then they're gonna reevaluate what's going on here for sure. And outside of that, though, we can definitely move on to the next one. Most definitely. And yeah, man, this is two guys that got rebooked. So it's pretty cool to see them still get paid. Of course, Chaos One versus Andreas Gustafsson. For those of y'all who are curious, this guy is not related to Alexander Gustafsson. He came out and said that in an interview. He says a lot of the people in Sweden just have that surname a lot. But for me in this one, I was going to go with Chaos Williams. I think he's fought the better competition, beating the better competition. He's younger than this guy, taking less damage. I mean, like, you know, less damage. He has more fights and stuff, but I just, I just think Chaos. You know, I like his defense more, and I think when they go blow for blow in the pocket, I think he's gonna hit harder and knock this guy out. So I do have Chaos by first round knockout in this fight.
Yeah, man. For me with Andreas, I mean, the first time I broke him down before his fight got canceled, it was like I saw one fight. It was some cage pressure, turnaround cage pressure. They swapped, and I think he got a knockout finish or something. It wasn't much to go off of. It wasn't super impressive. For me, I'm gonna go with Chaos. I mean, he has insane knockout power, and he has enough takedown defense to at least stay on his feet. So, I mean, I like him in this fight. I'll take him. There's just not enough for me to even think about picking Gustafsson. If he wins, cool. We'll have some film to judge him off on the future. But for right now, I mean, I'm not gonna pick him because he has the same last name as a really good fighter. It's I got to see something first, and I think Chaos is good. I think he's good.
Nah, I agree for sure. Moving on to the heavyweights. I think this might be the only heavyweight fight on the card, actually. But you can go ahead and pick first in this one. It's an international fight. Got a guy from the Dominican Republic and a guy from I think that's Moldova. So who are you picking in this one?
Yeah, man, we got another grappler versus striker fight. It's the millionth one of the year so far. Uh, this one's good though. This one I do like. Sergey Spivak, he is a heavyweight wrestler, which is actually nice to see. It's a little refreshing seeing a heavyweight who's actually good at wrestling and not just laying on people. He has some really solid skills, good foundation. If he gets a hold of you, that's the round. He won that round. He's really like sticky, honestly. Cortez, very good striking. He's a snappy right hand. I saw someone on like a breakdown I was watching. They're saying he's like a baseball player. Um, so he has like a really good right hand. They call it like a baseball punch. To every time they're like talking about his fight,
Yeah,
they
he was
they call
like
it like a baseball punch.
because he played like he was on like the minor team, the minor international team for the Cincinnati Reds. So apparently, like I heard that on a
Oh snap! That's
yeah,
crazy.
I heard that on a podcast earlier this week. So apparently, it's like yeah, those dudes definitely have a lot of
Those dudes from
horsepower
the
to
DR
be a
can play
baseball player.
baseball. It's in their blood. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
this
sure.
one I also didn't pick on. I was torn. Because it really depends. If Cortez is stuffing takedowns, um, like what does Spivak have for him? But like, if Spivak is getting a hold of him and even like cage pressure, it's hard. I was really torn. I didn't pick. Um, I'll let you. I really don't know. Like I could throw a hamburger. I'll take Waldo Cortez, I guess, to win by knockout. I guess you make your pick. I don't know.
Me,
I was torn.
I was gonna go with Sergey Spivak, dog. Low key. I think he could take homie down, bro. I think he could definitely get him to the ground for sure. This is like this is the fight for Waldo to see how good he is. Like he has to get the fight to the ground because he has struggled with strikers in the past. But I think Sergey has to look better, like in every fight after losing, especially. And I think in this one, he's faced a better comp, and I do think he can impose his will with his wrestling. And I do think he can get this guy to the ground. He just has to weather the storm. Like that for the boxing, it's heavyweight. Anyone can get knocked out at heavyweight. Um, and yeah, man, I think it's a striker versus a grappler, and this is a hard one. It is a close fight. Like I said, it is heavyweight, so the danger factor lies on both sides. You feel me? But I think Sergey, is getting better with the striking too. You feel me? So I was gonna go with Sergey Speedback, to get this one, and he's 30 years old, so he's still developing. He's still young. So, I got Sergey in this one, most
I
definitely.
just don't like how he shows up when he gets hit. I mean, he
Yeah, for sure.
turns.
Like,
It's like
like
it's
he
like
doesn't do
this, and
damage
then
well.
and once you hit someone with like that, the confidence in them is gonna skyrocket. They're gonna hit you. They have you on the cage and just strike, 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 and the refs get involved. So I'm not confident in it. Um, Tyler Betts in the chat, what's going on? He said, "If you are what you say you are, a superstar." Yes, sir. Sean
Mhm.
O'Malley, Sugar Sean, is that who we betting on? I hope so.
Yo, what's up, Ty Ty? Hope you're doing good, boy. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, man. Yo, it's a lot of money on Sean. So if you're feeling like a superstar, go ahead and make a bet like one. Most definitely. We see Drake. Drake's always betting damn near 1 million, on these fights. So hey, why not be a high roller? You feel me? And yeah, moving on to the next one. Azamat Murzakanov versus Brinson Roberto. I'm gonna keep it brief. I was gonna go with Murzakanov. I've been impressed every time he stepped into the cage. And yeah, I think he will get this done via knockout. We've seen Roberto knocked out before, and I think Murzakanov was supposed to fight Nikita Krylov and get that big step up finally, but the fight fell out,
Wasn't it
unfortunately.
Johnny?
So I hope John, and it might have been Walker. It might who.
It was Johnny Walker. Look down here. Look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Word. All right, bet it was Walker. Okay,
yeah. That would have been ooh, ooh for Johnny Walker. That would have been scary.
Yeah, man. Like even at 6'6", it would have been some problems for sure. And I was gonna go with Murzakanov in this one, especially with Ribeiro taking on fairly short notice. I think it'll be a first round knockout. We've seen Ribeiro knocked out before, so I got Murzakanov. He's looked great in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean Ribeiro, all he has for me is a reach advantage and height advantage, I guess. But Azuma, I mean, he's good. former Russian combat sambo champion, undefeated, and even in the UFC. I mean, he looks good. He's clean striking, nasty knockout power. He's gritty. He walks forward. You bet him until it's some serious competition. On the other hand, you got to just keep on betting on him. He looks good. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a finish, like first round finish, like blatantly. I think he might try to blast him or do it technically wise, but I do think it could be a first round TKO for the Russian, undefeated Russian, most definitely. And going to the next, Bruno Silva versus Josh, the fearless fan. This guy's collecting all the checks. It's pretty evident why he likes to fight so much because he knows he's getting paid. He's young. That first check most definitely lit a fire under him, and he wants more of that. You get show and win money. So even if you lose, you're still walking away with a pretty decent bag. But you get more money if you win, of course. So I was gonna go with Josh Van in this one. I think this look great. You might lose the first round, but come back and win the first. I mean the second and the third. I got Van via decision. Doesn't have too much finishing power, so I got Josh Van via decision in this one. Who you got?
I got Josh Van to win this one by knockout. He's becoming a fan favorite of the UFC. I mean, I've seen TikToks of like people talking about up and coming prospects or my favorite fighters. He has elite Muay Thai, elite boxing skills. He has some of the best combos on the UFC roster. The way he works the body shots is just insane. He's like one of the only people who put together 4-piece combos working the head
Right.
and the body. I mean, no one really does it. You talk about it, you might do it in the training hall, but no one really puts that together in the UFC. The way he works the body is so well, and working the body is very good strategy against someone who could wrestle so well like Bruno Silva. Tire them out so they can't chain their wrestling together. Van has shown a lot of improvements to his takedown defense, so I'm super confident in him. I'm not just hopping on a train. Like I've believed in him. I've picked him on every fight. When I first saw him fight, like 4 fights ago now, I think. I mean, I was so high on him. I was like, yo, this dude is entertaining as hell. But as he gets better, his opponents are getting better. This is a big step up in competition at the end of the day. But I think he could get it done. I genuinely do. So I have him winning this one by knockout.
All right, bet. Being you both. Well, I got decision, but we'll see how it goes. He's looked better and better every fight out. The Charles Johnson loss, it was unfortunate. It was a close fight. They're going back and forth, just exchanging
It
blows in the
happens.
third.
It
In
happens.
the in
Everyone
the
could get
third.
knocked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. At the third round, it's just a gorgeous uppercut by CJ, and just like it happens. You can just wake up and just like go back to the drawing board. You feel me? It's part of it, and he's looking great since then. You feel me? He's been doing a great job bouncing back. And he didn't let it affect him too much. I thought he was tripping, coming back in on short notice. He fought again like 3 months after that. You feel me? So the fact he came back, he knew that was some bullshit. Like he knew that my chin's solid for sure. Like I just
Wasn't
got
that the
caught.
Sphere when he came back?
I think so. Yeah.
He looked really good
Um.
with the Sphere.
And yeah, man, like he continues to impress at a super young age. He's one of the youngest guys on the roster. He will be a top 5 fighter in the flyweight division at one point. He'll have too much experience and still be too young by like 27. So Josh Van's gonna be here for a real long time. And I got Van via decision. And moving on to the pay-per-view opener. Want to thank y'all again for joining us as we break down Ultimate Fighting Championship 316. Yeah, I've been watching this shit for a long time, and man, it's crazy, man. Like the biggest part of the pay-per-views to me is always about like the storylines and stuff, like how these fights go on to affect the UFC in the future, whether some of these guys get cut, some of the divisions they might move to, or other matchups that get made, whether they move up the rankings, down the rankings, stuff like that. And like, I'm watching the embeddeds, and I remember when Vicente Luque had his son, like when it was a big deal, when his wife was pregnant and stuff like that. And then like, it like showed his baby in his arms all embedded, stuff like that. And now if you watch the recent and they're walking in the park, his baby knows English. Yeah, like his baby knows English now and stuff like that. Like it's crazy to see his baby is an American, first and foremost. I think Vicente lives in New Jersey. So it's a big reason why he wants to win this fight. You feel me? Well, he moved back to Brazil when he had his baby. They were staying in New Jersey. or like definitely. It was either Florida. 'Cause, I know he was training at Kill Cliff at one point. It might have been Florida, but I know he was staying in America, for sure. And yeah, man, it's just really cool to see him like just continue to come back. We know he had that brain stuff that was going on at one point, so it's good to see him heal up and continue to fight. Health always comes first before putting on a fight for people's entertainment, and most definitely. So it's a close one, man, in my opinion. I was gonna go with Kevin Holland though. Just to get my pick off the top. I do think he'll be able to strike with Luke, and if it hits the ground, I think Kevin's long limbs. He's great on the ground. It was never a matter of Kevin's like a bad grappler. He would just get out muscled. He's fighting wrestling dudes that are like 40 pounds on him and stuff like that. So I always thought he was undersized. This is his division, the welterweight division. So and yeah, man, I think he can win this fight and possibly go on a little streak. He's always been inconsistent, but when he gets off the losing streaks, when he gets back to winning, getting both checks, he knows how much he likes that. So, I think he will win this fight, and I think it's gonna be a good fight. And I got Kevin Holland to win the pay-per-view opener at UFC 316.
It's interesting. I mean, for me, these are two fighters. Like you have them separately. They're both always hard to like confidently bet on. Now they're fighting each other, so it's like, what the hell? And then these odds are insane. I mean, minus 275 for Holland. Holland can't hop on a win streak for his life, and you don't even know which version of Holland you're gonna get. For Luque, I mean, he's always pretty much the same fighter, in my opinion. He's very good. He's high level at the end of the day. Holland is either very high level, or it's like he wants his check and he wants to go home and finish early. I don't like the odds on this. I think this fight does end in a submission either way.
Right.
The thing with Luke is he doesn't chase takedowns, but if you engage with him, he will get you down. But he's not going to aggress for them. Holland always ends up on his back in every fight. I know there's the height and range difference in this fight, but I'm not even going to take that into account. Because Holland always ends up on his back. He might get punched or kicked. He might fall down. And once he lands on his back, he is so comfortable because he's so confident in his guard play. So I see him on his back trying to work his guard, and he maybe gets a arm bar or a triangle off his back or something, a guillotine. And then Luque on top. I just see Luque on top trying to apply pressure, ground and pound. Always chasing a Darce. That's his thing. He has a nasty, he locks it up. He gets a hold of your head, and he got the Darce locked up like that. So I think there's gonna be a lot of grappling exchanges in this one. I don't think it plays on the feet too long, just because of how comfortable Kevin Holland is on the ground. Which is a bad habit with him. I think he's very skilled, but it just is a matter of how gritty he is at the moment. So I'm gonna. I also didn't write a prediction on this one. Like for me, it's like tendencies. I want to say Holland. I mean, I guess you go off of tendencies. He's on a win-loss right now. It's a 50-50 for me. I don't like the odds though. I mean, the Gunnar Nelson fight. Gunnar is good. Kevin Holland was better that night, and then Reiner, Kevin Holland didn't even look like Kevin Holland in that fight. Delice fight, he had the injury. He was gritty. He was gritty that night. Unfortunate series of events. That armbar was amazing. But Vincente surprised me last fight when he got the Darce off in that one, or it was an Anaconda, practically the same thing.
It was Anaconda, yeah,
just different arm, same kind of different arm. I didn't know the differences till I started pulling them off. It's actually, I love the Anaconda and the Darce because it's literally just such an easy transition. It's just the other arm, whichever side you pull your arm through on. But damn, bro, I don't know. I didn't really pick. Well, you picked Holland.
I picked Kevin. I don't know if it's going to be a KO. I still think Vicente's hard to finish. I think it could be a sub. Yeah, I think he can submit him. He's a black belt, like a real one. I think he can submit that dude, under Travis Lutter,
I'm not picking a fighter. I'm picking this fight to end in submission. That's it for me. That's it. You're not making nothing more out of me because I like them both. I think they're.
Oh, really? Damn. Nah,
I think they're a good submission threat.
Like, for real. Like, I get it for sure. At least you can just sit back and relax and watch this one,
More to
but yeah,
in a headlock choke.
A headlock. Okay, I can see that
It's like
too.
one of the three: guillotine, anaconda, or darce. One of the three he finishes it in.
And like for me in this one, I'll go ahead and let you have this one. One of the biggest debuts in the last couple of years, for sure. You could definitely say that. One of the more highly anticipated. It's crazy he's finally here now. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let you take it. Most definitely.
This is an interesting one because a lot of people have been anticipating Mario Bautista's next fight after his last performance against Jose Aldo. And that fight, I mean, a win could change your career so much, in the UFC, but that win changed his career in a path I didn't think he was expecting. I mean, he won that decision. Who knew he would have got that many haters from that? I mean, people despise him after that, after sticking to his game plan. All he did was stick to his game plan. The goal was to take Aldo down. He couldn't get Aldo down, so he just stayed where he was at. The ref didn't stop him. He did his thing. Um, I do think Patchy Mix is very talented. I think he's a UFC top 10 level fighter, and I think he deserves top 10 level talent to fight. I think Bautista is going to be a hard fight for him. Just how stubborn he is to his game plans. I think Bautista is a really good fight, and if you don't like him, that's fine, but you have to still judge him off of his whole career and not just his last fight against Jose Aldo and what he did. He's a very good fighter. He game plans really well. He's well rounded. He has good wrestling, and his striking is good enough, to compete with all these guys in the bantamweight division. Um, and people call him a staller fighter. And like that, it was one fight. It was one, like it was one fight. It happened. He won the fight, so you can't get. I had Aldo. I called Aldo. I called bullshit at the end. He won the fight. It won him the fight. Patchy Mix is the favorite in this one. I'll let you speak on him because you know more than me. I don't know too much about him. I've seen some film. Like I said, I think he's good. I think he deserves this fight, and he can win this one. I personally think Mario Bautista is going to take this one. I think he's the safer pick at plus money too. So I have Bautista winning this one by decision.
Ooh, that boy picked Mario Bautista. Nah, it's a good pick. He's always been a good fighter. You can see he's on a win streak. He's faced a better competition for shit, sure. Man, it's a close one. Like for me, it's a close one, man. It's gonna be harder than what Patchy Mix thinks, man. He's talking a lot of shit on
That's what I'm saying.
Mario. Like he's talking a lot of shit, man. He is, and like I think it's gonna be a little bit harder than what he thinks it is. Because like he thinks he's gonna walk, it's gonna be a real higher level competition. Like Mario's training for him, knowing that he's fighting someone that's making a big debut and shit like that. It's a close one, man. I'm not gonna lie. Mix is the bigger fighter, even considering everything, reach and height. He is the bigger fighter. I think we're going to see it in the cage most definitely. When it comes to the grappling, I do think Patty's world class 1000%, whether on like off his back, on top, on the cage, and on the open. It doesn't matter. He can pull guard. He can get you with the wrestling too. Like, he's really, really, really super diverse with the grappling. His striking's getting better. He just got like in one of his first KO wins, and it was against Hafeyan Stotts. I watched that live. It was a beautiful knee in the first round where when he won the $1 million check in the PFL final. No, it was still Bellator at the time, but it was a beautiful knee. It was crazy to see that. Like it was like literally a movie. Like when he went out there, like they were just like it was distance and just like it was probably the first strike he threw like a minute into the fight. They didn't throw shit, and then like he just lands a knee, and like it was follow up shots, and it was crazy to see him like because Hafeyan Stotts was like 19-1 on like a 15 fight win streak, and like he just knocked him out in the first minute. He really showed his level. Like he really showed like he's really hitting. Like he's really like when fighters do stuff like it's kind of like when Conor knocked out Aldo in 13 seconds. Like they're operating on another level right now of just execution, and like you're literally like you're like in the mage, like it's like the strikes to you are moving in slow motion, like that's how like heightened your sensitivity is, and I get it. The Magomedov fight, it was a split decision. It was a close fight for sure. He was a minus 300 favorite going into the fight. It was a close one, man. Like Magomedov has always been a good fighter. He has a win over Petr Yan as well, but Petr Yan beat him too. So they're 1-1. And I've always thought he was a good fighter. He choked out Sergio Pettis to unify the belts on November 17th, 2023. And then and then he had a layoff, unfortunately, but he did beat Kairat Akhmedov, the one championship champion as well. He beat him in a grappling match just recently, so he's really showing his level, just competing in all of MMA right now. And I think this will be a grappling match, and the UFC knows that, which is why they gave him Mario Bautista. I don't think they want to get Mario out of here, but I definitely think they'd rather have mixed in Bautista. He's I was gonna say younger, only by a couple months, but definitely more marketable. It's definitely a storyline there more with Patchy than with Mario. Massive storyline with him really wanting to fight the best bantamweights in the world, being one of them coming out of the UFC. This guy in his media day to day said he had a better resume than Michael Chandler, Pitbull, like all these guys. Like I don't agree with the Pitbull one, and that Pitbull was a former double champion, and all that. And but yeah, like. He's a great fighter, of course. With Mario, everyone knows, decent striker, good grappler, like how you said yourself. Me personally, I am gonna go with Patchy. I think there's more danger there. And like he's been waiting for this moment. I'd be shocked if he let this slip through his fingers. I think he's gonna choke him out in the first round. I got Patchy mixes. It's really gonna show like, oh shit, this dude's here now, and it's once again gonna show like the execution level he's on right now, like his mindset. And he's just been so hungry, like scratching and clawing. Don Davis had him on the shelf for so long. And he went from fighting in the PFL straight to a UFC debut, and it's this Saturday at that. So can't wait to watch it, most definitely. And I got Patchy mixed by a first round submission. I think he's gonna get a guillotine as Mario goes for a takedown.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, I think Batista's good. He's always put together good game plans. Looked good in the Ricky Simone fight. I think he's a good fighter, as much as hate as he gets.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of hate right now because he was one half of Aldo's retirement fights, and like it's just unfortunate, and yeah, you can have this one. This is probably the fight I'm looking forward to the most on the entire card, in my opinion. Absolutely. I cannot wait. I love Calvin Gastelum, KG, the UFC Hall of Famer. But who you picking in this one? You can go first. Also, wait, before you go, do you consider like UFC Hall of Famers in the fight wing to be like full-fledged UFC
We
Hall
talked about this a while ago. I remember. I said I did. Yeah, I mean, you're part. It's not like it was a one-sided beatdown, that Adesanya beat his ass just because he won the fight. Like it was a dance. They both played a part of it. You got to give respect to Kelvin. I mean, without Kelvin, Izzy might not be, the champion he was. That fight could have pushed him. So, yeah, I do. I remember we had that conversation a while back. I do think it makes them a Hall of Famer. Different, like he could be a Hall of Famer without being a legend of the sport, if that makes sense in the big picture.
Right.
But he's definitely part of the UFC Hall of Fame, especially that the UFC is still so new as a sport. In the big picture, I would say, yeah, he's still a Hall of Famer.
I think so as well. And yeah, you can pick first if you want to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, quick side note, dude. I haven't trained in a month. I didn't train the whole month of May, and I went back. And Monday was a little light class, and then Tuesday we went right to it. We're in fight camp. We got two dudes getting ready for a fight, and we're just, we're doing MMA, and we're like chain wrestling and shit. Dude, I am so fucking sore. I just lathered myself in CBD cream. Bro, my knuckles and wrists, we were boxing heavy yesterday. My knuckles and wrists are on fire. My shoulders hurt. Everything, head to toe, hurts, bro. I'm so sore. I'm going to feel it the rest of the week. I just want to say that I was just putting on some CBD to numb me down. I'm fucking hurting right now, bro. And I was just sitting at work and no customers came in today, and I was so miserable at work for like 7 hours. I can't, bro. I'm just tired.
No, I get it, man, for sure. And like we're almost done too, so you definitely not worry about that too much longer. But you can lay down
a little early in the night. It's not too. It's only 9:30. But yeah, this fight, I think it's a good fight. I'm not like super there. I don't personally feel the buzz. I'm not big on Joe Pyfer at all, in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't interest me as a fighter. Ever since that Hermanson fight, I feel like that fight was the make or break for me if I was gonna think he's a good fighter. Not that he's okay, not a good fighter, but that if I thought he was gonna be like a fighter I enjoy watching, and he wasn't. Um, he has a lot of power, but I don't think he's too impressive in the technical department, in my opinion. Um, Kelvin's the same, but Kelvin's just a brawler. I mean, my coach,
Hmm.
when I first asked him like what really makes like these UFC fighters so good, and he was just explaining to me like there's a difference between a fighter and a martial artist. Um, some dudes are just fighters. I mean, like your Tai Tuivasa is just a fighter. Like most heavyweights are just fighters. They're not martial artists the same way as like GSP is a martial artist, and these people who really hone to perfect the martial arts. Like Conor McGregor is a martial artist. He loves martial arts. There's some people who just love it and they study all these different martial arts to be so good at it. And Kelvin Gastelum, I think he's a fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's there to brawl with you. He's not like someone who's just like super technical and he knows how to go from a takedown to a body lock. But he is training at Fight Ready for this fight. I'm a big fan of their gym. It's Cejudo, Tracy Cortez. They got a bunch of other fighters there. So I think he has a good game plan. I was going to take Gaslam to win this one by a decision, just because I think his chin is too strong for Joe Pyfer to put him out. But Joe Pyfer does have that power that we were talking about. If anyone can probably knock him out, surprisingly, it might be Joe Pyfer. Um, I was really unsure with this one, and I also didn't care too much. But I'm glad to see that Kelvin is taking a middleweight fight and not welterweight, because I thought he looked like absolute shit at welterweight. Um, he just didn't have the size that he needed. He looked drained. He got completely controlled by Sean Brady. So yeah, I'm gonna take Kelvin to win this one by decision.
Yeah, man. For me, man, I'm gonna go with Kelvin, man. I was gonna go with Kelvin, bro. I was gonna go with KG, man. I just think like I don't know. I think he knows he has to win this fight. I mean, I think he's gonna be really aggressive from the outside. He's gonna apply a lot of pressure. I was more confident in Mexico City because he had been out there way longer than Joe Pyfer, and I thought he could have outlasted him cardio wise, especially seeing the problems that Joe Pyfer had against Decker Manson. Yeah, that was 5 rounds, but I thought Pyfer was slowing down by round 3. So I think Kelvin's fought the better guys. Absolutely fought the better competition. He's lost to some of these dudes. I get it, but at the same time, I still think he has a lot left to give. He's still pretty young at 33 years old. He's still really young, man. KG, even for the middleweight division. So, it's just all the damage he's taken in his career, and I think he can win this fight. Man, I think if he, especially if he wrestles, makes it dirty, he can definitely win this fight. And he can most definitely strike with this motherfucker going back and forth. So, we're gonna see what happens, man. But I got Calvin, I got Calvin, via decision. I think if you might lose the first round, I think it looks good in round 2 and 3, mixing it up, dirty boxing, grappling, all that. And I think it's gonna be a close fight come round 3. It's not gonna be a washout. I don't think this guy's not that good to wash out Calvin Gastelum like that. Even now at 33, at an older Calvin. Now when he was 27 and fighting for the belt and shit like that. Like, I got KG though. I got Calvin Gastelum. The
Yeah,
UFC.
Kelvin's super gritty. He's not gonna let someone just walk through him. I mean, unless you're like some super grappler that's gonna beat him where he's worse at. Minus 400. I mean, these are just crazy odds. It's honestly disrespectful. UFC is super high on Joe Pyfer though, so I mean, we'll see. I personally don't see the hype at all, but we're gonna have to see. We have no other option to see, so we're gonna see.
Mhm. And going into the first championship fight of the night, the literal ultimate fighting championships. I'll let you pick the ladies first last time. I'll let you pick the ladies first again. You can go ahead, y'all. On our second to last fight of the night.
Go, man. I mean, got Kayla Harrison finally getting her UFC title fight at a huge favorite of minus 625. Wowzers. I remember when you first were explaining to me what odds meant, and you were telling me minus 200 means they're just going to punch them in the face and knock them out. You're like, plus 400 means they're just going to take them and just slam them by. Minus 625 really means Kayla Harrison's supposed to pick up Juliana Pena with 2 hands and throw her outside the octagon. That is insane that they're just throwing out those kind of odds on a fight. It's so disrespectful. disrespectful to Juliana Pena. But yeah, I mean, Kayla Harrison's a specimen of a fighter, and she has their outstanding judo background. She has a clear path to victory in this fight by taking Julia Pena down, causing damage with ground and pound, and just being bigger. She is the bigger fighter. She will be bigger, even though they're weighing in the same. Kayla Harrison is a bigger person than Juliana Pena for sure, and just dominating her with size and aggression. Um, she has multiple paths to victory on the ground through ground and pound, submission, or riding out to a decision. Um, I do think Juliana Pena is skilled for sure, but I don't think she has anything out of ordinary besides her submission skills, which are very great. She was throwing some really good submissions off her back against Raquel Pennington. I remember she had that armbar. She went from a beautiful triangle to an armbar transition. Uh, that was really good in that fight. But I also wasn't super high on Pennington going into that fight. I was confident in Juliana Pena in that fight, like 100%. I told all my friends to bet on Juliana in that fight. And that only went to a split decision. I mean, Pena, she won that fight. She was on the ground for a little bit in that one. I just think Kayla. I'm not trying to MMA math it. I think Kayla is miles better than Raquel Pennington. I wasn't super high on her. I picked her to win her championship fight, and I picked her to lose against her title defense. So I'm not trying to act like I'm disrespectful to her, but I don't think she's as good as Kayla Harrison. And that last fight, I mean, I see in the chat, that last fight, that was a gritty fight. You knew going into that how dangerous it was on both ends. Those are two dangerous girls. That was Ketlin Vieira, right? That she went against. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, those are two dangerous girls, and we both knew it going into that fight that Kayla Harrison could easily get fucked up in that fight, just because of how good she was of a striker. So, that being said, I got Kayla Harrison to win this one by finish, and new.
Man, yo, I feel you, bro. Like, we're splitting on the co-main, man. I got Juliana Pena in this one. I think if this goes past round 2, I think she wins this fight all day. I think in circumstances like this, like, you know, for me, I think if Amanda Nunes couldn't finish her, I don't think Kayla Harrison will. I don't think she has nowhere near like the striking on the feet that can really like challenge her like that, drop her to the ground, like make her have to like really respect her so much that she has her shooting for takedowns. I think it's going to be to a point where they're going to be striking on the feet. I think Pena's going to try to apply a lot of pressure to her. She will get taken down. It's going to happen. She's going to hit her with a judo throw. You're going to see her legs go up. It's going to be like, oh shit, like she looks really good, whatever. You're going to see her like doing her, like, you know, doing her magic, trying to, you know, get to a grappling position. Juliana's going to keep on scrambling over and over. She's not going to stop moving. She's too good on the ground to get held on her back and stuff like that. When it gets back up to the feet and she isn't able to elbow her or finish her or anything like that, like she's finishing a 43-year-old Holly Holm, you feel me? Like, you know, trying to make that look like it's something credible, you feel me? And as soon as she walked in there with Ketlin Vieira, her nose was bleeding, you know, and she was cut, you know, off them elbows from Vieira because she couldn't work her magic. She was too big, too strong, and she couldn't take her down like that, you know? And I think off Pena, like I said, I think she's always shown she was a quality fighter coming off the Ultimate Fighter when she won that tournament. Like she entered her and she was out for a real long time. And yeah, man, anytime like she's been in like in these big spots like this, like she's always came through, you feel me? Like anytime she's ever like doubted like that, I think with the second Nunes fight, she got too used to being famous, that she was doing so much media, too many interviews, and like I think it's really distracted her from at least training. Not saying she would have won the fight or like, you know, stuff like that, but like she would have had a better chance, you know? And like if you go back and look at that UFC 277 post-fight press conference, like you can see Amanda Nunes' face is like literally half shut. Like it's not like Nunes, it's not like Pena didn't land any strikes or anything. And for anyone trying to like fact check me on any shit like that, you can go back and pull up Amanda Nunes UFC 277 post-fight press conference. You will see her entire left eye is literally closed, and that didn't just happen from a ghost in the fight. You feel me? She's always been like a quality fighter. I think for this, like I said, if it gets out of rounds 1 to 2, like Larissa Pacheco out of the PFL was able to push Kayla Harrison and take that belt from her, a girl she had beaten twice before then. You feel me? I think, and I get it, people are going to try to say all like inspiration, stuff like that. If $1 million ain't enough to inspire you, I don't know what else will. You feel me? So like Like, yeah, I think with Pena, I just think like she wins this fight by making it dirty. She gonna make it dirty. She gonna stay in her face. She gonna strike up against the cage, even if it's not pretty. She's gonna stay in her face just off the will to really, really want to beat this girl. You saw what she said to her in the face to face. You're just now fighting in a real promotion. Like you're fighting, and that too. She's beating all these crushing cans, stuff like that. Like, and then I get it. Like you're fighting a 43-year-old Holly Holm. And the moment she fights a younger girl who's quality, she faces mountains of adversity. So I really do think that Pena is not gonna let her come in and take that belt like that. Like I said, she's gonna feel her strength. She's gonna feel her in the first round. She might get that judo throw. It's not like Kayla has crazy blast double. She's gonna pick her up and stay. It's not like that because Pena has a really good sprawl anyways, especially training at Rufus Sport with great grapplers like Michael Chiesa and stuff like that. She's fought the better competition. She's beaten the better competition for shit sure. And I think she's getting doubted in this fight because people don't like her personality. When she called Amanda coming back, people were saying she was stupid for saying, hey, no, she's calling her out at the end of the fight. And she said that because she knew Amanda really wasn't done. She just wanted to retire, and she knew she can't hold up both belts for over a year. So I'm gonna let you have it. I can come out and get the title shot whenever I want. And that's why she was at that press conference like that. Because Amanda Nunes got plenty of money. She got plenty of endorsements. You feel me? So Pena, like, it's just always when people try to undermine her skill off the personality, but like she has to be that confident to beat these fighters on the world stage like that. And also, she's a great shit talker. She's telling Amanda like you can attract flies to shit and shit like that. Like she's talking trash way better than most of these dudes are and stuff like that. And also, don't try to play her. She looks pretty fucking good too when she gets dressed up and stuff. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, I mean, I always thought she was a good fighter, and keeping it with her skill set, she can wrestle. The boxing it's whatever. She's getting better at the striking. She's physically strong. You can see her shoulders. You can see her arms. She's definitely a pretty strong woman herself. It's just Kayla's ripped. You can see it. Absolutely. She's a specimen. She's an Olympian. You feel me? Like I said, she's going to get that judo throw. Depending what happens after that, I think it's free game. I think Pena rounds 3, 4, and 5. She ain't gonna finish her. It's gonna be elbows, a submission. I doubt it. Like I think it's like she's gonna have to like kill her to get her out of there. Like her hairline was exposed off the Amanda Nunes line. Like she was like I think it was like getting like her face was almost exposed, falling off, bro. Like for real. I think she's hard as shit to beat like that, especially in this fight where she knows she's the underdog again against a girl she feels who hasn't proven herself. So I think all that being said, I think Pena can get the fight to the ground. She can take her down when she's mad tired. She gonna take her down fight like in the 4th and 5th round. Kayla is her first time making 135 on the dot. I do think that the third weight cut is going to play a part. She was fighting at women's 155. You feel me? That's 20 pound cut just to get to the cage and then have to perform versus Juliana. This been her weight division. So, yeah, man, I think that I think that Pena can get the fight to the ground, make it dirty in 4 and 5, and win a decision. I'm going in still. It's gonna be a crazy fight off that alone, and that's what's gonna finally like make people respect her, man. Like respect her, and I got Juliana, man. I think she's gonna get it done. She can beat her, man. She has the better gas tank. She can wrestle her, and she can strike. I damn near say she's the better striker. You feel me? So we're gonna see how it goes. You feel me? But I got in still. And outside of that, who are you? I mean, you already gave your pick, but any closing thoughts on like the 316 co-main event or anything like that?
I just think it's situational, it's like hard to like Kayla has such like a strict game plan that's gonna help her succeed that it's hard to judge off anything else. Like she's might not be the better striker, but all she needs is something to stall. Something in the stand to stall, and that's her jab. All she needs is a jab in this fight. Jab,
Mm-hmm.
jab, jab, just until you guys get in range where she grabs you or you grab her. And when they're in the clinch or they're on the cage standing up, that's Kayla's world. Whether she has her back on the cage or she's in a tie clinch or something, that's her world because Pena could be very skilled. That's Kayla's world with the sweeps and the throws, and that's her world right there. That's where she wants to be. That's where she needs to get. And I mean, yeah, if it could be later, she could definitely gas out and not look as good. And this could all be
Because
incorrect.
she's betting on finishing her early. I just feel like she underestimating the shit out of her. I think she gonna think
But
she
you
can go
gotta
in
realize,
there.
Kayla gets on top of her. I mean, all it takes is to stop a fight. You throw a few punches that Pena doesn't like, and she's trying to scramble out. And you throw one punch she doesn't like, and she has to cover her face for a second.
I mean,
Then
I
she's
don't
a
know. I
barrage of
mean,
punches. That's how TKO stoppages finish. I mean, they're not just because you get TKO stopped doesn't mean you're unconscious. It means you're covering up for dear life because those punches are coming down. That's how it works. I mean,
for sure, for
Kayla's
sure.
also
Nah,
going to be bigger and heavier on top of her. Pena is, I mean, in the gym, she probably is training with, dudes and stuff who are heavier and stuff, or girls that are bigger. But I mean, in that real fight, when Kayla's on top, it's going to be heavy. It's not going to be a 135er on top of her. That girl is going to be weighing 150, maybe 160. Kayla's going to be weighing 150, 160 on fight night. There's no doubt about that.
yes, yeah, she's gonna be big for sure, and like that's why I think she's betting on trying to finish her early. Like she's gonna take her to a place she's literally never been before. Like she's gonna take her like it's different, man. Like she's never ever fought a girl fighter like this level in 5 rounds, having to like make this kind of weight. It's really like people are betting on potential in this. I don't think there's no reason why this girl should be a -6. I think that's pretty absurd. You feel me? And like outside of that, I think it's gonna be close, man. I think Pena she gonna have to kill her to take that shit. In a minute, Nunes couldn't kill her. I doubt Kayla fucking Harrison kill Juliana Pena. I just man, don't get me wrong, bro. She could go out there like take her belt, like whatever. Is she gonna finish her? I don't think so, bro. Juliana's really tough shit, man. And like she's damn near a man. Like she's tough as shit. Like yo, and I just think that
I think
living
44%
like
by Harrison sub. Holy shit. I thought ground and pound, if anything.
I just don't like
That's
even like yo to get her to the it's like and that's the thing like it's people that think like she's gonna like blast double her what she gonna be like judo throwing her in the fifth
not the
round.
it's sweeps. It's even like a leg sweep. Like you gotta clinch and you guys are on the cage and you just slightly take her off the cage and your foot's just right here. Look, right here. And she just trips over her foot and it's just pinning you down to a knee. Kayla grabs the back, drives her forward, tries to fly. It's stuff like that. It's not that she's just gonna throw her on her back. It's that she's gonna work to it. I mean that's where that Olympic judo comes in, like and that
Nah, for
wrestling.
sure.
I mean, she was also working with Cejudo. You gotta respect that. That adding that kind of level of wrestling into a judo skill set. If it works, it's gonna be if both fighters come out with the perfect 100% versions of themselves of all their training, I think Kayla is the more scarier one. If she adds that wrestling onto her judo, that's scary, dude. On top of the fucking
Because it's just like she
come
has
on,
to
that's
get her there. Like she's
scary.
gonna have to get her there, And I just don't know if she can like hold her down like 3 rounds, 4 rounds, like especially with Pena not adjusting. Like I think like man, she's gonna be hard. The only thing she can show her she hasn't seen before is gonna be the judo throw. Like that's it. Sweep. She's done that all day. Like any like. I mean, man, she's gonna watch the film and she's gonna know that's how she can really beat her. I think that's why I said that Juliana has to make it dirty. She's gonna stay in her face the whole time. She's never been punched like that. She even said against Vieta, I'm bleeding and stuff like that. People gonna think Pena has no danger. And we're gonna see, man. We can't stay here all night, obviously. But I think it's gonna be close. I got in still. And I think Pena's gonna walk away in the sunset with this one. And people are gonna be talking shit on her again. But like, they're gonna have no choice but to respect the legacy at this point. You feel me? And yeah, man. Like we'll see what happens. That's gonna be a close one.
Let's do it.
I'm going to the main last fight of the evening. Man, you can go first, Nick. Go ahead, bro.
Let's do it, man. Like for me, I think O'Malley has so much more in him as a fighter than what we've seen in that first fight. Like, I see a lot of backlash of when he's justifying his loss, and it was on the scorecards. It was close. Watching it, it wasn't as close. We saw how dominant Marab's rounds were compared to the rounds that Sean O'Malley won or questionably won. So the eye test, we know what happened. Scorecards, it was closer than than it was to seem. I do believe Sean O'Malley was injured. There's like it's not just what he's saying. I mean, there's fighters out here that are saying that when they were training at his gym, they weren't allowed to kick him. There was all this stuff. I mean, he really had that torn labrum, and you got to respect it. I mean, you can't only respect that someone was injured when it's your favorite fighter. You got to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. If it's someone running chicken and just making excuses every time, then you could say what you want. But I mean, you got to give him the respect. If he said he was injured, he was injured. He wouldn't accept this fight so soon if he didn't believe he could really win this. You know what to expect with Merab. Merab's always going to be the same fighter. It's that high tempo. It's that chain wrestling where he doesn't give up. He's on top of you. He's going to keep striking. He's going to keep chasing you down all fight. But with Sean, it's different. I mean, we didn't see the Sean O'Malley we were expecting to see in that fight. Everyone was like, why is he not throwing? Why this? The Sean that we're supposed to be seeing in this fight is a Sean O'Malley that's throwing combinations together, the ability to get back up to his feet, the ability to not be on his back and locking up body triangles from the bottom, but to be working maybe a guard or maybe work his way back up for a sweep or something like that. He's not the wrestler that Merab is, but to accept being on his back, I don't think we see that again. Really separate himself from Merab in this fight, not let Merab get a hold of him and stay a hold of him. I mean, he did it against Aljo. He got Aljo off of him, and that's that skill set that he does possess inside of him. He just has to dig deep. You said that he was, giving up on these things in his life to be a different man. You could believe if that helps him or if it's just a bullshit latch in his life, because if he loses, like, he's going to crash mentally after giving up all these things and not seeing a different result. But I think that, this fight, he's going to separate himself from that last fight and set up a way to turn off Merab's lights. He's that skilled of a fighter. I do believe that he's the best bantamweight in the world, really down inside. Right now, it's Merab. Merab has an undeniable record. He has an undeniable win streak. This fight has major implications because, I mean, if Merab wins this fight, you could easily say he's the greatest bantamweight of all time. But if Sean O'Malley gets this back, I mean, there's something there that you got to respect about him. I have Sean O'Malley to win this one by knockout. And I believe in him, and it's no disrespect to Merab. Just because I picked against him doesn't mean I disrespect. I know what Merab is capable of, and I know I'm picking against him nonstop. I know I am. I picked Cejudo. I picked I picked Umar, and I'm picking Sean, but that's not disrespect to Merab. It really, really isn't, because I understand exactly what he's going to come out with, and I understand that he can easily dominate Sean O'Malley if Sean's on the top of his game. But I think a high, just like I said in that last fight, if you take both of them at their highest level, you gotta respect that knockout power by Sean O'Malley, because it's not just knockout power, but he's so precise in the way he moves. He didn't get in that fight at all into that little, when Sean's moving and he's faking and he's throwing those feints at you. He didn't throw no feints in that fight until maybe the last minute when he hit a body punch.
Yeah.
But if he works the body early on Merab, what's different about that fight if Merab gets hit like that in the liver that early in the fight? How different does that change? We don't know, but I hope we see that from Sean. And it's not because I want to see Merab fail. It's really not. I respect him. He's great. I think he's a future Hall of Famer and a future legend of the sport. And he's changing the game with how great his cardio is. But
at 34 years old.
But I think Sean O'Malley has potential to be the best fighter on the roster if he can just get past this hump and then move on with his career. If he doesn't, there's some major, major reflection he needs to do, especially fighting at 135.
You think if he knocks him out, like, do they run it back and have an immediate trilogy, or?
If he knocks him out, I think Sean O'Malley's going to call out someone else first.
That'd be bullshit. That'd be such bullshit.
No, but I think
that'd be bullshit, yo.
Okay, but respectfully,
for real.
Merab did the same exact thing. Merab didn't take that rematch with Sean. So, to be fair, he took one fight in between. I think Sean's not going to want to fight Merab again. That's a big task. It's a tough task. You got to admit, it's a tough task. No one wants to fight Merab twice. It's probably hell. I think they would have to run the third one back. Depends how bad the knockout is. If he loses, I think he there's a chance he doesn't fight again. There's a chance he does fight again at 135. There's a chance he moves up to 145 after a long layoff. But if he loses, I don't know if he stays at 135.
Oh, Sean, see, that's what people are talking about on Twitter.
I think you get chased out the division at that point.
Chased out.
Sean is a champion at heart, so why would he fight
He's
in
a
the
future
division?
Hall of Famer, man. It's over, but he beat the game already. He could retire. Like he just chooses.
He could retire and go box and do celebrity stuff and stream, but I mean, he's not at that Connor stage yet where he gave up. I mean, he's so young. He hasn't accomplished all he wants to. You know he wants title defenses. You could see it in him. He's humble. Sean O'Malley might be like a little, he got the clown hair and streamer and all this bullshit. He's humble. I mean, you see when he won that belt, he couldn't do nothing but smile and taking those deep breaths and stuff. He's just young. He's young. It's the new generation, I mean, 30 years old, but he's kind of younger than his age.
He's been there since 22, so best believe it.
Yeah, man. He's still young at heart. So, I mean, he's that new generation. So we're really seeing the newer generation, I guess you could consider, what they're like as human beings and how they feel about stuff. I think he just wants to accomplish so much more, but this is a big hump. So I'll let you give your breakdown, but yeah, I think this fight has major implications just besides who's the 135 champion that's after Saturday night.
Yeah, man, it's fucked up, man, because like I don't think Dana should have given him this title shot like this, only because like he was gonna get it regardless, only being being so popular and being a former champion. I think he could have. And I think they could have gave him like an Aldo in between like the last fight, just someone they knew that he could have beaten, but he could have taken the training camp to improve. He could have taken it, trained some wrestling in that camp, got better, won that fight, good fashion, had even more time and got a title shot coming off of even one win. Like how we're seeing Yair Rodriguez, he almost got a title shot in Mexico. We know the fight got moved and stuff like that. And it's a fight night now. But still, like, it was stuff like that. I think Sean could have really used, like, that one fight just to get better, And for this right now, I think even he himself knows, like, man, if he gets taken down one time in the fight, like, just, like, 1, 2, it's just going to kill his comp. Like, that's going to just, like, here we go again, It's just going to, like, really, really hurt. And the moment his cardio goes on the inside, he's definitely going to be like, fuck, bro. Like, going back to the stool, he's going to be like, fuck, yo. Like, seriously, that's, like, some deep water to be in. And like I said, I really don't know how much he improved coming out of this, like coming into this next one. You feel me? I get it. You say he was injured. He said he was injured during the Aljamain Sterling fight as well, back at UFC 292. So and I get it, those are hard training camps, training for grapplers and stuff like that. I never gonna call these dudes a liar or anything and say they're not going through pain and stuff like that. It's really hard doing that grind every day, especially at a world-class level when you're literally fighting the best dudes on the fucking planet from across different nations. And yeah, man, I think for this, for Sean, like, I just don't know, man. Like, I really don't know. I think Merab is truly a special talent. When he shot for 50 takedowns over Piotr Jan, I think right then and there it showed you how hungry he really was. I still thought that Umar shit was bullshit. I think him breaking his hand really did interfere with the fight. I picked Nurmagomedov to win that. I do think him breaking his hand in the first round, 1,000,000,000% had something to do with the grappling and everything. Only people who never been in a fight before would ever say breaking your hand would not affect a fight. Like, come on, you feel me? And like just trying to squeeze and I can only imagine how much that hurt, hitting the ground and trying to get back up and sprawl, and that shit just hurts so much, you feel me? And that was in the first round, and he lost like what? It was like a unanimous. Was crazy when the decision came out, but I mean, it was what it was, and still. And I think for this, like I said, even in that fight, it showed like the high level, like Merab's level. Like, he's sitting here showboating in the 4th and 5th round, like in a title fight like that. Like, he's operating on a different level of confidence right now. And he even said it in the press conference. He said it like it was really hard to get ready to like get motivated to beat somebody you already beat before. As a fighter, it's really hard to do, So for him, he's making himself motivated by saying that Sean's training, saying he's improving his wrestling, saying that he has these new skill sets he's going to showcase. And that's enough for me to still know that he's still motivated to win this fight more than ever. This is a close one, man. It's a real test of wills. I'm not gonna lie. I was high on Marab when he was training with Aljamain Sterling, man, when he was his training partner at that point. You feel I mean? I think training with Aljamain really did a lot for him. Both of them in their careers are both future Hall of Famers now with multiple title defenses each. So it's really cool to see they didn't have to fight each other and they both rode off into the sunset, like hand in hand, like that, as best friends for the rest of their lives and future Hall of Famers for the rest of their lives. So that's just really, really cool to see. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, man, for me, as we clock in on our last one, I was gonna go in still in this fight. I don't wanna switch picks the last second. That is who I picked this morning when I woke up. I think Marab's gonna get it done, stay aggressive. If he plays any games whatsoever in the first round, gets clipped, gets hurt, he is going to play no games and go straight for the wrestling. If Sean gets that sprawl, shit's gonna get real. I'm not gonna lie. If that sprawl comes out, shit's gonna get real 1,000,000%. If Sean sprawls the first, second takedown, whatever. I just think it's hard, man, with Marab. Like, he will literally shoot 40 takedowns, you feel me? And it's hard for anyone to train for that. No training partner can replicate that at all. And it's their training, but it's gonna be different with the fight speed. And it's just gonna be totally different. He operates at a whole different level. And I think it's gonna be crazy, man. I want to see Marab versus Patchy mix. That's what I want to see. Two high level grapplers like that. But that's my pick for the main event. I do got Marab Dvalishvili. We split on the co-main and main event. I do got
on a few fights on tonight.
Yeah. It appears so. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with Marab, yo. We'll see what happens. You feel me? Of course, it's all fights. Anything can happen in a fight. We'll see how the weigh-ins go. Marab's making the weight with ease. O'Malley hasn't complained at all about the weight cut, and he's been cutting it for years. So, I look forward to it, man. It's a good pay-per-view. As this main event starts, my birthday will be starting on June 8th at midnight. So, look forward to this. Gotta have a shot ready for sure. Watching this one, definitely can't wait. Most definitely. And yeah, man, that's it from me on this episode of the MMAHOLICS, unless you got anything else to give. Most definitely.
That's it, man. I enjoyed tonight's breakdown. I'm about to watch. I missed the first two quarters, I guess, but I'm about to watch my first ever NHL game. Got the finals are on. And I saw someone saying that this Connor McDavid dude is like the Kyrie of hockey, so I want to watch. So I'm watching my first
Connor Bedard.
Huh?
Is it Connor Bedard or Connor McDavid?
McDavid. I was watching some highlights of him. He's super sick. So I'm gonna watch this game and enjoy that.
Also, gotta give a shout out to the chat. I was in full screen, so I missed a lot of y'all. Shout out to Vulcan Arctic who joined super early, and thank y'all so much for joining us. Ty Bets, most definitely. He's always coming through, showing love, no matter when in between lives that we go. Ghost, formerly Sinister, a great guy, most definitely, always super nice. Shout out to you, James. Always nice to meet you, James. And yeah, man. Last but not least, the boy John Bob. You feel me?
That's John Bob. No, probably not.
I doubt it.
It was jail, and probably not
long time ago,
right?
I'm pretty sure he watches UFC though. If I forgot to ask him that, I definitely would have for sure. But that's it for me though. But unless you got anything else tonight,
that's it, man. Let's enjoy this card. Double N new. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, God bless y'all. Catch us back next week. We will be breaking down UFC Atlanta. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I live here. That city is right outside my window. So I will, of course, gotta break down that card. Literally close to home. And I can't wait, man. Most definitely. Y'all have a blessed one. And stay safe.
All right, y'all. Good night. Good night.